Well, we've got soaring mortgage rates are becoming a real problem for the housing market. We just got new data out this morning. Home sales seeing a 5.6% drop in the month of October. That was versus September's numbers. And now sellers are feeling the pressure to lower their home prices. New Redfin data found that over 20% of homes that sold in October lowered the price of those homes. So joining us now is Daryl Fairweather, Redfin's chief economist. Daryl, it's great to see you here. So a 5.6% drop in new home sales, certainly a number that's jumping out to us this morning. What are you seeing, though, on your site currently? Because we have seen mortgage rates fall a bit here over the last several weeks.
Yeah, in the last several weeks, it's become better for buyers because mortgage rates have come down and new listings have been increasing. So overall, that's just better news for buyers. But, it's going to take a while for buyers to really internalize these lower mortgage rates. There aren't that many buyers on the market this time of year at the holidays. So it may get a few buyers off of the sidelines, but I think it's going to take until next year and continued declines in mortgage rates for us to see some real strength in demand.
Daryl, speaking of next year, what are your expectations for how the housing market will look, especially when you think about the first quarter of next year?
Well, I'm more optimistic now than I was just a couple of weeks ago when mortgage rates were getting close to 8%. The fact they've come down a little bit makes me more optimistic, but I think it's going to be another slow year, at least when we look back historically. We had so many sales during the pandemic that right now we're still kind of in this hangover and rates aren't helping the situation. There are going to be more people who are wanting to move because they have a new job or they're getting married or they're having kids. So people's lives go on and that creates demand. And if we have a strong stock market, people may feel good about spending money, but those high rates are the biggest drag on the housing market right now.
Yeah, Daryl, you mentioned the fact that we need to see some material improvement here, more declines in mortgage rates in order to see that boost in demand. What level do mortgage rates need to fall to in order to really be a catalyst here for the housing market?
If rates fall below 7%, I think we're going to have a surprisingly strong year. That's when I think we're going to see more people out there with bidding wars even, which is pretty strange because back during the pandemic, rates were 3%, but rates going up to nearly 8% has reset the threshold, I think, for buyers wanting to get back into the market.
And are you expecting, what's your expectations for the all cash buyer? That had been previously a big part of the demand picture when it comes to home sales. What's your expectations for the cash buyer? Will it still be, say, a third of home sales in 2024?
We've seen more cash buyers right now, just in terms of the share. But during the pandemic, there were a lot of cash buyers too, because cash is always king. It helps you win bidding wars. So even if rates come down, I think people will still continue to use cash as a way to win bidding wars. But they may go back and refinance right after the deal closes and actually get a mortgage. Doesn't mean that they're not getting a mortgage on the home. Right now, cash is helping people wait out the mortgage situation. Maybe they'll get a mortgage later when rates come down. But I think cash is still going to be a key strategy for winning a home.
So does that then tell us about home prices? If we're going to see more bidding wars, are we going to see prices head even higher?
Well, we're talking about a scenario where rates fall. If rates fall, we will see more buyers come back to the market, and with limited inventory, that will create bidding wars that push up prices. We're seeing a bit of relief on new listings right now, with more sellers deciding now is the best time to sell, and maybe that will continue into next year. So hopefully we'll have a bit of a balanced situation, even if rates do decline, but I don't think that balance is going to last. The overall story for the housing market is that there are fewer homes available compared to the number of people who want to buy a home.
Where is inventory the best in terms of geographically speaking, Daryl?
It's best on the coast, especially the West Coast and San Francisco and Los Angeles. That's where those high rates are really hitting hard. And also it's where sellers can sell and then they have all this equity that they could take to a more affordable market. If you're selling $1 million home on the West Coast, and you have paid off most of the mortgage, you can take that cash and buy something with all cash in Arizona or Florida or another more affordable market, and you can get around the whole mortgage rate problem. So that has created more listings, more inventory on the coast compared to some of those more affordable markets where there are buyers still coming in and not many people willing to sell.
Daryl, a lot of people have been priced out of the market given the fact that mortgage rates have been soaring, prices remain very high, so they've been forced to rent. What are you seeing in terms of some of the trends in the rental market? Are we continuing to see maybe a bit of softening there?
This year has been a good year for renters, and with the housing market being so tough, with rates being so high, it's been nice that people have been able to go to the rental market and at least their rents aren't going up dramatically from last year. I think next year, though, there's going to be more demand for rentals. For those 3-bedroom rentals that are very comparable to a starter home, I think there's going to be a lot of demand there and rents will increase. But for 0 to 1-bedroom rentals, there's a lot of new inventory coming online, and with more supply relative to demand, prices could fall for those smaller rental units.
All right, Daryl, we will have to put a pin in our conversation. It's always great to hear from you. Daryl Fairweather, Redfin Chief Economist.